opener. Team keeps playing better and better. They pitched their first shutout earlier this week against New Jersey City University, and they come into today's game on a 4 games.
It's been a very impressive show.
Talked about throughout. Award for that.
Joe Bellel, their goalkeeper, to make 5 saves in that game. So the Dolphins, again, great job defensively, limiting chances and costly turnovers. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the play that everyone was talking about for a day or two after that last game, where Eric Lopez Silva, the goalkeeper for NJCU, was assessed a red card for making contact with the ball using his hands outside of the penalty area. A costly turnover there by the Gothic Knights led to an opportunity for Ali Fairs on goal, and Lopez Silva attempted to cut down that opportunity and make a save. They did ultimately pick up a he was the catalyst in that red card that was called against the Gothic Knights, and he was denied a goal-scoring opportunity. As you mentioned before, it really helped spur the Dolphins' offense forward. Philip Lefkowitz as well has been big for the Dolphins so far this season, has a goal and an assist, and Danny Nika had a great performance in the Dolphins' last game as well. He's the Dolphins' second leading goal scorer with a pair of goals and 2 assists, tied for the team lead in points.
One
going and hopefully get on
differentiator to play. Morales gets it back to Miguel Morales, and the Dolphins have their first offensive attack up the far side of the field. Dolphins looking to come forward. That was Nika, but he loses possession, but Fairs is there to regain for the Dolphins. Now Morales looked to get it forward. He was looking that time for Lefkowitz. The ball went past. The linesman flag was up anyway, so it will be a free kick opportunity here for the Beavers. 90 seconds into this matinee contest. No score between the Dolphins and the Beavers. Ousmane Gay will take the free kick here for the Beavers. Getting our way into the middle of September, Joe, but a very hot morning here today. The sun's shining brightly, so it's going to be a nice day and a beautiful day for soccer here this afternoon.
Yeah, the sun just peeking through the clouds. It was overcast earlier this morning, very humid out there on the pitch. As I walked across midfield earlier in preparation for today's game, definitely tough conditions for the players out there. It's very humid.
So now the Dolphins in possession of the ball as they look to bring the ball up, looking to get the ball to Kosovic. But it'll be Gay coming off his line and making the play for the Beavers. Ousmane Gay, very active in goal, for the Beavers here. They've been under a lot of pressure in their last game, a tough loss going up to Rutgers Newark, as Rutgers Newark really had their way with the Beavers, and the Dolphins have struggled playing there as well, Joe. So the Beavers really looking to get on track here in 2017.
And I took a look at the game. Nothing
back in the
17 campaign.
It's here looking to turn quick to the Beavers.
Just before
he nearly gave the Beavers a lead here, and you know, he's looking for that.
Only have one man to beat between he and goal, and we'll see if the Beavers get it.
Nothing to get the ball back. Full feed
up and puts the first selves on defense.
What age and gives the Dolphins a 2-0 lead.
And things just became so much more difficult for the Beavers as Lefkowitz drives one by the goalkeeper, Di Pompeius, and as Ali Fairs might have an opportunity here.
So here comes Fairs down the near side of the field. Fairs looking to work against Mendoza. Fairs cutting all the way across, drilling it towards the net, but putting it just over the top and out of play.
And the Dolphins have seized momentum in this game, obviously, now with the 2-goal lead, and they haven't slowed down on the attack at all. Still pressing the attack up the field there and having an opportunity to score was Fairs, who was moving left to right, drove one over the crossbar by a pretty wide margin. And
I should mention, Joe, I made a mistake earlier in the game. I had Gay playing the net. It's Marcus Di Pompeius in goal for CCNY, and Di Pompeius, who's really played goal all year long for CCNY and played pretty well, but the Dolphins have found a way to get past him twice, Joe, and they've taken an early 2-0 lead.
And a great start for the Dolphins at both ends of the pitch on the attack. They've found quality chances from really up until this point in the game, all the way back from when this game started until now. The Dolphins have been putting quality shots on goal. Already have 4 shots on goal. 2 of those have found the back of the net. Really not more than that one opportunity for the Beavers, which was more of a mistake by the Dolphins than an opportunity created by CCNY.
As Fairs tried to play that ball on the near sideline, he headed it towards goal, but Di Pompeius was there to make the play. As now that ball will be headed back towards goal as Condi comes over for it with Barrera, and it'll be Barrera to play it on the far sideline. Barrera rolling it into the center of the field now for Ryan Lehman. Lehman really doing a nice job settling in the back after playing up in the midfield for most of the year. And Joel Morales just goes down on the field, and that did not look good, Joe.
No, I didn't see. Was there contact there, Mike?
Nope.
I took a look down. I didn't think so.
No contact at all. It looks like he's going to be okay. Boy, you get scared when you see a player drop down onto the field like that. But Morales is okay, and the Dolphins regain possession now as it's Lehman. Lehman back over to Morales. Morales playing the ball inside to Lefkowitz. Now it's Kosovic with some space, but his shot's going to go over the netting and out of play. So it'll be a free kick here for CCNY. But, you know, for the second consecutive game, Joe, the Dolphins able to find their way to get out to a lead, and really changes the whole complexion of the game when you can play out in front.
It does, and you can see the Dolphins now getting more aggressive with their shot-taking. First Fairs and now Kosovic both driving the ball and clearing the crossbar by a pretty wide margin there as Adrian sent that shot into the trees back beyond the pitch.
Long throw in now by Lefkowitz. Is the ball allowed to bounce? No Dolphin there. And a nice defensive play by the Beavers. I believe that was Navarez to knock the ball away. Condi. Now it's Miguel Morales looking for Fairs. He's onside. Fairs able to break in on the near side with a lot of space. He chips it towards goal, but just puts it wide past the far coast. He had a charging Adrian Kosovic coming in that time, Joe. Looked to put it in the far post, but missed it wide.
Yeah, and Adrian wanted that pass from Fairs. Ali decided he was going to try and tuck it into the top right corner. It was going to be a difficult shot to bury, a tough angle, but the Dolphins, again, getting way more aggressive with their shot taking now that they have a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and Kosovic smelled possibly his first goal of the season, but Fairs knocked that one wide, and now it'll be the Beavers to throw it in, as they looking to come from well back now, trailing by a score of 2-0, as that's Gay knocking the ball out of bounds. And the Beavers now with a throw-in on the Dolphins side of the field. And now Lefkowitz taken down hard, and we might have a card shown on the play, and we will, as that will be on Ousmane Gay, as he took down Lefkowitz very hard and earns a yellow card, Joe.
And we've seen Lefkowitz on that end of physical play so many times already this season. He came in his return from injury into his first game back and immediately was taken down as soon as he stepped out onto the pitch. So we'll see if Lefkowitz continues to find himself on the receiving end of physicality from the opposition.
Lehman getting the ball to Fairs. It's knocked away, and now we'll have a whistle and a foul called on the Dolphins. I believe that'll be on Fedorzi, but once again, Dolphins looking to exploit some openings in the Beaver defense.
And they've found many of them so far in this game. We've seen Ali Fairs and Adrian Kosovic find openings to shoot. There have been passing lanes as well, and the Dolphins have done a great job exploiting the Beavers so far here in this first half.
Joe Ma rolling the ball across onto the far side of the field, as that's Marku. Marku rolling the ball up now. Cabanella has the ball go out of bounds, and now it'll be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. CCNY had their big opportunity, Joe. It might have been their one opportunity, and they were not able to convert. And since then, it's been all Dolphins, and here they come once again, as that time charging off his line is DePompeius to knock it out of bounds, and it'll be another throw-in for the Dolphins. 22 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in this first half. The Dolphins leading by a score of 2-0. CSI women's team will be in action this afternoon at 4:30 at Randall's Island, as they will play the same CCNY Beavers. And we mentioned a little earlier in the pregame show, Joe, the CSI women's team coming in red hot and really playing well defensively.
They have, and they've done well at both ends of the pitch so far this season. I mentioned the new contributors and how they lost their 3 leading goal scorers, have been able to make up that production so far in this 2017 season. And much like last year, off to an unbeaten start, and we'll see if they can continue that against the Beavers tonight. Yeah,
it was Lisbeth Aparicio with the 2 goals, both off of corner kicks in the game for the Dolphins, as a shot rolls in on the free kick by the Dolphins, and that time it was Adrian Kosovic who was able to drill the ball in, and it went past a host of players, Joe, and into the net, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 3-0.
And the Dolphins continue to pile it on, as that one didn't have too much behind it. It was just a well-placed kick that never really left the turf, trickled underneath or around the wall. I didn't quite catch which path it took to the goal, but either way, it found the back of the net. DePompeyus just didn't seem prepared to fully extend and make that save, as he expected it to be blocked by the wall. And the Dolphins now have a 3-0 lead. It appears as if the Beavers may be on their way to another big defeat.
Yeah, you know, that's going to be the goal by Kosovic, and that will be his first, Joe. There was a Dolphin player out in front, and it looked like he might be in a position to tip the ball, but it appears the ball just went past everybody, Joe, or maybe hit a Beaver defender. And for whatever reason, DePompeyus wasn't able to get over to it, Joe, or perhaps he was anticipating the deflection. Nonetheless, the Dolphins now lead by a score of 3-0.
And DePompeyus seemed to be completely taken by surprise. Really didn't move much. See, I think he believed that shot was going to be blocked on the way in, and it wasn't. It just trickled right into the net. So that's the Dolphins' third goal with still over 20 minutes to go in the first half.
So Lavelle now with the ball, as we have a couple of substitutions here for the Beavers. As that ball is going to roll out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in now. As we have a look here, as it's the Beavers with the ball, as that's going to be Akia rolling the ball over to Joma. As we have another look at that free kick, and once again, it looked like Eric Condi was in front there, Joe, and not sure anybody actually touched it, but for now the goal goes to Kosovic, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 3-0 as we have another quick look at it. And, all good for the Dolphins here this afternoon.
And there was definitely traffic there. I can liken that to a screen on the goaltender in hockey. Maybe DePompeyus just couldn't see clearly where that ball was coming from or what path that shot was taking toward goal, as there was definitely Dolphins standing in front of that crowd gathered around the far post, but the ball finds the back of the net, and that's all that matters. And Dolphins have a 3-goal lead now as we tick under 20 minutes to go in half number one.
So it's the Beavers with possession of the ball as they sky it up in the air, and Miguel Morales was there to knock it away for the Dolphins. And now it's Lavelle in midfield. He loses his footing, and now he's going to pick up the foul on the play. And actually that will be a foul called on Edmund Adika. So Adika picks up the foul now for the Beavers, and the Dolphins will have the free kick. They have 5 shots on goal. 3 of them have found the back of the net. 2 shots for the Beavers, and the Dolphins lead 3-0. Joel Morales. Now it's Quintero. Quintero turning towards the center. He looked to get the ball to Kosovic. The ball's knocked away, and now Lefkowitz able to play it over to Nika, and another hard foul on the Beavers, and this time we're going to see a card. And I think that might be on Akika once again, Joe.
And Lefkowitz finds himself down on the turf after a foul committed for the 3rd time. He appears to be limping just a bit and may find himself injured here. No, he looks good. He's still trying to walk it off. But Lefkowitz, again, as I've mentioned, has been on the receiving end of some physical play so far this season and has found himself taken down 3 times in this first half.
So Edem Akika, I believe, will pick up the yellow on the play.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card is issued to CCNY. Beavers number 4.
No, actually, that will be on Joma. We'll pick up the yellow card as Kosovic once again shoots it. They try to go for the same place, Joe, but this one wide past the far post.
And Marcus DePompeyus was ready for it this time, as you saw him favoring that post toward the top of your screen. A pair of substitutions also upcoming for the Dolphins.
Boy, wait, Joe, when you got the kind of firepower where you're bringing in a player like Logan Tassin and a player like Joe Boella off of the bench, boy, you are stocked offensively.
And the Dolphins have done a great job on the attack so far this season. We mentioned Boella and his contributions in the pregame. Tied for the Dolphins team lead in goals with 3 coming into this game, tied with Bryant Navarro, both with 3 goals apiece. And Logan Tassin's also been incredibly active, a high motor player for the Dolphins, and we've seen him have some success so far this season as well.
Yeah, the Dolphins looking really to be loaded offensively here in 2017 and off to a good start here in this game against CCNY as they lead by a score of 3-0. It's Joel Morales with the ball. Kosovic a little shaken up on the play, but appears to be okay. Laval and Morales fighting for possession of the ball. Now Morales fighting with Camarera, But the Dolphins come away with the ball, and now it's going to be Boella with his first touch of the afternoon. He was looking for Tassin, but a little bit of miscommunication as now it's Caballenda coming forward. Now Morales. Morales chipping it, looking for Tassin. Tassin looking to get on top of the ball. A nice defensive play that time by the Beavers, and that was Yusuf Ali for the Beavers making the defensive play. And if that may sound like a familiar name, Joe, it should, as Ali was on the CSI Dolphins for a couple of years, now going to CCNY.
And I heard head coach John Tardy joking with Yusuf before the game, saying that where he was parked, his car would get towed, of course, jokingly. But a lot of fun had with Yusuf before the game between our staff and he. And he's a familiar face, as you mentioned, with a player for the Dolphins last year. And it's good to see him get in on this game, especially with the Dolphins leading 3-0. Maybe he can provide a spark for the Beavers, something that he was accustomed to doing for CSI last year.
So Caballenda down on the pitch here for CCNY, Joe, and he's really the focal point of this Beaver offense, a Beaver offense that really has struggled throughout 2017. And the good news is he's up on his feet and he appears to be okay.
Yep, you never want to see someone get hurt. As it appears, we have broken for water. I mentioned the humidity out there on the pitch. Definitely far worse conditions out there on the pitch than where we are along midfield underneath shade. And the difference between the conditions out on the pitch and over here is startling. It's something that surprised me the first time I stepped out there. And you see the players on your screen breaking for water. So we'll have a few moments before play resumes.
So the Dolphins leading here by a score of 3-0. Women's tennis team in action here today as well for the Dolphins. Women's soccer, as we mentioned, will be out on Randall's Island at 4:30 this afternoon as they look to continue their unbeaten streak. And Joe, the summer ends quick, and we're in the middle of 4 or 5 different sports already here at the College of Staten Island.
And there's been a lot going on here in the month of September, but as I take a look at the schedule for men's soccer, the next home game I have for them on my schedule is against Rutgers Newark on September 25th, and that's the only home game I see here between now and October 14th. So the men with a lot of home games so far early in this 2017 season. 5 out of their 6 matches played here at the CSI Soccer Complex, and we'll see them play some road games in the coming weeks.
Yeah, you know, we got a lot of early home game action is once again down on the field is Caballenda. That's how we had the last stoppages in play as he was shaken up on the play. And he's down on the pitch here twice in the last 10 seconds of play or so, but once again appears to be okay. But this is going to be a good free kick opportunity here, Joe, for the Beavers, and a real opportunity to get themselves right back in the game.
And getting a goal on the scoreboard before the end of this first half is crucial for CCNY. They'll look to do it here, as it appears that Yusuf Ali will be taking the free kick for CCNY. As
he takes that free kick quickly and gets it over to Lavelle, and the Dolphins able to come away and knock the ball away defensively. And you know, Joe, you never want to second-guess a play call, but down 2-0, you really think that you need to get the ball on goal there.
Yeah, and maybe the Beavers felt that their best opportunity to get a shot on goal was to center the ball first and then look to drive one, but that wasn't the result that we saw there, and now it's the Dolphins with possession on this throw-in in the attacking half of the field.
Really only the second opportunity of the half here for the Beavers, and the Dolphins doing a nice job defensively to knock it away. Coming over and drilling that one towards goal, I believe was Quintero, Joe. No, it might have been Boella. It was Boella who drilled that one wide of the net. So another opportunity for the Dolphins, who already lead by a score of 3-0.
And the Dolphins continue to aggressively fire shots on goal after looking to pass the ball and move it a bit more earlier.
It's Kosovic who got his first goal of the game. He played that one in front. A couple of Dolphins there, but a good defensive play that time to knock it away by Joma. Dolphins try to get it right back in, but the Beavers able to knock it away, but the Dolphins remain on the attack. Quintero. Now it's Ali Fairs. Fairs give and go back to Quintero. Quintero trying to keep the ball in play. Instead, it'll be knocked out of bounds, and it will be a corner kick opportunity, the second corner kick of the afternoon for the Dolphins.
And another opportunity for CSI to put another goal up on the scoreboard. And you know, you could say this game's already been broken open now. The Dolphins with a 3-goal lead, but one more goal would really put any thought of a CCNY comeback to rest with the way they've struggled to get shots on goal so far in the season.
This time it'll be Ali Fairs to take the corner kick here for the Dolphins. Here it comes. It's right into the center of the net. Boella gets a head on it, but the ball is knocked back toward the top of the penalty area. Now the Beavers look to clear it away and counterattack quickly. Castillo gets it over to Camara. Camara looking to get it back up over to Castillo, but Lehman is there to play the ball away and force Barrera to play it with his feet, and he'll now chip it up the near sideline. Condi over to Lehman, but Lehman's breakout pass is going to be stolen by Lavelle in the center of the field for the Beavers. Now Mendoza. Kambaya tried to play him forward, but it's knocked away. It forces the Beavers to come back and play it back defensively. Beavers now looking to get a little bit of space now as it's Gutierrez. Now the ball's going to be played on a give and go, and Gutierrez is able to play it on the far sideline. It's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a rare throw-in for the Beavers deep inside Dolphin territory. Caminada knocking the ball forward. Now the Beavers trying to get into the Dolphin penalty area. Fair surrounded by a couple of black jerseys, and he'll draw the foul on the play.
And Ali just shoved one of the CCNY players. I'm not sure what just happened.
What happened, Joe, was that Edgar Gutierrez picked up the ball and was walking away from it, and he gets a talking to from the officials. But you're right, of course. That doesn't give Ali a reason really to push him. And now it's going to just be a free kick opportunity here for the Dolphins as we have 13 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the first half. Yusuf Ali coming forward to play the ball. He's surrounded by a couple of Dolphins, and now it's going to be a free kick opportunity, and the Beavers choose to play the ball quickly as it's Castillo. Castillo working the ball in the corner to Carrera. Now Yusuf Ali chipping the ball towards goal, but Barrera will let it just go wide and out of play. Free kick opportunity for the Dolphins. So another free kick opportunity, Joe. The Beavers choose to play it in quickly as opposed to setting up a play.
And a theme with the Beavers' attacks is that they have come to an end quickly, not really able to string together many passes consecutively in the attacking third. The Dolphins have closed off the passing lanes nicely and not allowed CCNY to get in position for quality shots.
So now it's going to be Barrera playing the ball forward. Over to Condi. Now it's Lehman. As Lehman gets the ball over into the midfield. Now it's Tassin. Tassin looking to build up a little bit of speed. He plays the ball forward. He was looking for Fedorzi, and now a hard tackle in midfield is nothing called on the play. As Ali with a very hard tackle on the play. Knocking down Tassin. And now it's the Beavers coming away with the ball, but a nice defensive play by Morales to cut off that breakout pass. And now roll the ball up over to Boella. Boella over to Condi as the Beavers try to press up a little bit in the midfield. But the Dolphins doing a nice job with their short passing game. As Lehman's pass is knocked away, but he's able to retrieve. And now the Dolphins look to build up their offensive attack once again. Sosa, who's checked into the game for the Dolphins, looking to get it to Tassin. His pass is going to be knocked away, and it'll be played in goal by D. Pompeius. Up the near sidelines, now it's Fairs with the steal. Fairs chipping the ball across to Kosovic. But a nice defensive play that time by the Beavers, shielding Kosovic off the ball, and it'll be the Beavers to throw the ball in.
And before we saw the defensive play by the Beavers against Logan Tassin, it looked like Logan went down hard. And I think what happened there is he was about to retrieve that ball and force a turnover, taking that ball away from the Beavers defender. But he got caught with his legs positioned in front of one Beavers defender and then his upper body positioned behind another. And with those two Beaver players running in opposite directions, Logan was spun around and thrown to the turf.
So Kamarudin Chabanlanya will check out of the game here for CCNY, and the Dolphins will be in control of the ball here as we have 10 minutes, 11 seconds remaining, and it'll be a free kick opportunity here for the Beavers from just on the about 15 yards back from the midfield line, and it'll be Yusuf Ali to take the free kick here for the Beavers. Ali Long ball down the near sideline, but too far past everybody. And it'll be an unforced turnover there for the Beavers. CCNY able to get their first touch on the ball off of the throw-in is Chazari looking to head it forward, but instead it's Tassin there to retrieve the ball. Now Boella over to Fedorzi. Fedorzi looking to get the ball to a streaking Sosa, but the pass too far ahead, and it'll be DePompeyus to knock the ball away for CCNY. Lehman stepping up to knock the ball away in midfield, and now Ryan with a little bit of speed. Lehman forced back by the Beaver defense, and now it's going to be played up over the head now to Tassin. Tassin's going to be forced out of bounds by Ali, and it'll be a throw-in here for CCNY. Under 8 minutes, 50 seconds remaining here in this first half. All College of Staten Island here this afternoon, Joe. They scored early, scored often, and lead 3-0.
And they've upped their aggressiveness since they've taken that 3-goal lead, looking to add on. As we've seen the Beavers lose a pair of games by a 7-0 final, another game 3-0, and the Dolphins haven't taken their foot off the gas pedal so far here in this first half.
So Tassin gets called for the foul. And now it's going to be the Beavers with possession of the ball. And, you know, if you're CCNY here, Joe, you just got to take it one at a time and try to get that next goal and, you know, give yourself a little momentum, especially going into halftime if you can.
Well, I mentioned how important it would be if the Beavers could pick up a goal before halftime, but if they surrender a fourth goal, again, like I said before, the thoughts of a comeback in all likelihood would come to an end at that point. So at the very least, you have to keep CSI off the scoreboard for the remainder of this first half, and the Beavers would love to put one up on the scoreboard of their own, a team that, again, has only scored one goal so far this season. So you can't understate the importance of getting a goal up there on the scoreboard at any point.
So it'll be the Dolphins to throw the ball in on the far sideline, as it'll be Faz. He gets it to Fedorzi, then gets the ball back. It'll be knocked out of bounds once again. So once again, it'll be Ali Faz to throw the ball in for the Dolphins. He gets it to Tassin. Tassin at the top of the penalty area, now rolling the ball back to Quintero, but Quintero loses possession, and here's an opportunity for the Beavers, but a lot of CSI white jerseys back. Is Lehman able there to retrieve the ball and get the ball up over to Condi? Beavers trying to press, but a nice job. The Dolphins calmly playing the ball. Boella now up over to Lehman, and now a long ball over to Kosovic. Kosovic looking to work against Ali, but that time he'll get called for the offsides once again here, Joe.
And prior to that offsides call, Kosovic looking to shoot from a far distance. Once again, the Dolphins continue to be aggressive in their shot taking, and it looks like these players are trying to put on a show at this point with the quality of the shots they've taken and the distance that those shots have been taken from.
So Yusuf Ali will take the free kick here for CCNY. As we're ready to get underway, is Yusuf's free kick right into the center of midfield. Nothing but white jerseys there as Lehman is there to play it over to Fedorzi. Now it's Condi. Back up over to Lehman. Dolphins playing with confidence and passing the ball well here this afternoon, and certainly in a position, Joe, up 3-0. Now it's going to be chipped forward to Tassin, but the ball will be too far ahead, and it'll be Marcus DePompeyus to play it for the Beavers. He gets it up to Camara. Now that time Kosovic trying the long shot on goal with DePompeyus well out of the net, but it'll just go wide, and it'll be a free kick opportunity for the Beavers.
And that was at the urging of his head coach, John Tardy, who was positioned right in front of us, telling Kosovic to shoot. And you mentioned it earlier, Mike, DePompeyus playing very far off his line and at the top of the penalty area. If Kosovic puts that shot on goal, there's no way that DePompeyus is able to get there and make a save.
So now it's the Beavers trying to press forward, but the Dolphins retrieving the ball in midfield. Fedorzi's breakout pass is stolen away, but now Lehman will try once again a long pass down the far sideline looking for Ali Faz. Faz rolling the ball back, it's Quintero. Quintero looking for Fedorzi. Instead, Akika will step up and knock the ball out of bounds over the far sideline, and it'll be an opportunity for the Dolphins to throw the ball in with 5 minutes, 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Dolphins leading by a score of 3-0. Beavers had an early opportunity, Joe, to get that first goal. The Dolphins dodged that opportunity, and really, since that time, have really taken over this game.
It's been a complete effort for the Dolphins from the start of this game up until this point, with just under 5 minutes to go in the first half, as once again the Dolphins threaten to put a goal up on the scoreboard. That cross by, I believe it was Ali Fairs, just misses the foot of Adrian Kosovic.
So the ball going a little bit wide and out of bounds, and it'll be Marcus DePompeyas to take the free kick here for the Beavers. The Beavers, looking for offense, really have struggled on the offensive end. They've scored just one goal through their first 4+ games. That goal in their first game of the season, so they're in the middle of getting shut out for 3 consecutive games, and they haven't scored here with just 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Damian Mendoza in the midfield, rolling it down for Gutierrez. The pass is going to be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in opportunity now for CCNY. And we mentioned earlier, Joe, the Dolphins coming off of their first shutout win of the season and looking to keep their shutout streak going.
A shutout streak and a win streak the Dolphins will look to continue here this morning, and they appear well on their way to extending the win streak. We'll see if they maintain their stellar defensive play and pick up the shutout as well.
Kazari over to Camera, and he's going to be knocked down by Eric Condi. And you know, Joe, if you're the Beavers in this situation, you got to put the ball in the box or on the net. And again, they just knocked the ball over to the side. Don't understand it, Joe.
And that's an unforced error as well, as the pass from Ali to his teammate up the far sideline. That was Yorli Cesari. He just lost control of the ball, went right through him. I'm not even sure if he made contact with his foot. It goes out of play, and the Dolphins now will have a throw and a pair of substitutions as well, as Brenny Salas and Mike Arianis check in for CSI.
So another couple of substitutions here for the Dolphins, as Salas and Arianis are into the game as the clock is rolling now inside of 3 minutes remaining, and the Beavers looking to press up, Joe, here in this last 3 minutes and try to get themselves on the board.
And that's what they need to do to get on the scoreboard. It's been a really tough go of it for CCNY. We saw their best chance come off of a counter and a turnover, or at least a play where the goalkeeper made contact with the ball but didn't corral it. And the opportunity for Chabalanja back earlier in this first half was the real first opportunity of the game for CCNY. They were only true quality scoring opportunity to this point.
So Salas getting the ball now down the far sideline with a little bit of space and fresh legs, but a nice defensive play by the Beavers to knock that opportunity away as they look to press forward. But once again, it'll be Brenly Salas to knock the ball away, but he loses possession once again. Fedorzi in midfield. A nice job as the Beavers start to press up, and now we're going to have a whistle and a handball and another free kick that the Beavers choose to play in quickly. So they're clearly doing what they planned to do on these free kick opportunities, Joe. But to me, that's 3 or 4 opportunities to get the ball toward the net that they haven't taken advantage of. Tassin with the ball. Tassin on the near sideline with some space. Tassin throwing it in, looking for Arianis. Now Tassin trying to keep the ball in play. He's able to do so, but now the official rules that he did not keep the ball in play. Tassin thought he might have, puts the ball in the net, but instead it'll just be a free kick opportunity here for the Beavers.
And I think offsides might have been the call, Mike. The official along the far sideline had his flag up, so I think Tassin might have been called offsides. Either way, it's possession to the Beavers, and an opportunity goes by the wayside for the Dolphins, but that's been a rarity so far in this first half. So
the long ball looking for Camera is going to be knocked away, and now it's going to be Boella with 1 minute remaining in the first half. Boella's pass for Tassin. It will bounce off him and roll towards goal, and it'll be DePompeyas to play it now for the Beavers as they try the long ball as Condi plays it back to Lehman, but Lehman's breakout pass is going to be stolen by Charazi, who looks to feed it inside, but now it's Miguel Morales making the nice defensive play for the Dolphins. Morales, a beautiful ball down the far sideline. He's looking for a streaking Salas, but DePompeyas is there to knock the ball away and out of bounds as the Dolphins look to press forward now with 25 seconds remaining here in the first half. Quintero over to Fedorzi. Fedorzi's pass in the center of the field is going to be knocked away by Akika. Akika knocking it away, and now it's going to be Ryan Lehman with the ball for the Dolphins. 10 seconds remaining in the half. Morales over to Lehman. Lehman just will chip the ball towards goal. It will roll wide, and that's going to do it, Joe. 45 minutes in the book. 3 quick goals for the Dolphins here this afternoon, and they go into halftime with a 3-0 lead.
And it's been really what we've seen from the Beavers so far this season, the issues that have plagued them through their first 4 games, once again plaguing them here this morning against the Dolphins. They were outshot by a wide margin in that first half. Did have a pair of shots on goal. They had a great opportunity early in that first half, the first real great scoring chance for either team in this game, and unfortunately for them, they came up empty. From there, the Dolphins took over, put 3 goals up on the scoreboard, and go into halftime up 3-0.
And we're going to have a 15-minute break here for our halftime, Joe, not a 10-minute break. So what we're going to do is we're going to step aside. We'll take a break for probably a good 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back and get you ready for the start of the second half as the College of Staten Island leads this one by a score of 3-0. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching the 2017 CUNYAC Men's Soccer Home Opener right here on your voice for everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
The This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the eye.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
We're back here at halftime. The College of Staten Island leading in this game by a score of 3-0. And Joe, the Dolphins were able to get a goal in the 17th, 18th, and 24th minute.
Goals, many more opportunities than that for CSI, and the one big opportunity for CCNY, I already mentioned it several times, it was Cameroonian Chabalanja who had a chance to put one up on the scoreboard for CCNY before the Dolphins even scored their first goal. Ivan Barrera attempted to meet him at the top of the penalty area and retrieve the ball, but he got there too late, and Chabalanja was able to take the ball from him, had an opportunity to put a shot on goal, but Barrera was able to recover, get back to his feet, get back in goal, and make the save. That was one of only 2 shots for the Beavers, or I should say 2 shots on goal for the Beavers in that first half. Cameroonian Chabalanja had both of them. He had 3 of the Beavers' 4 shots in total, and it was Mustafa Kamara who had the other shot for CCNY, but not much offense to speak of for them in that first half.
The Dolphins had both corner kicks in that first half. The fouls were 10-8. CSI with 10 of those fouls, and you know, Joe, the Beavers really limited in their offensive opportunities, and interesting choices on their free kicks, really choosing to play all of them with short passes and not put the ball towards goal.
Again, I said that I understood wanting to get the ball into the middle and perhaps give yourself a better look at goal, but after the first 2 attempts doing that failed, I expected to maybe see them change that strategy. They didn't. They looked to quickly play those free kicks. There was no hesitation. Whoever was taking the free kick for CCNY just looked for his nearest teammate and then made the pass. Unfortunately for CCNY, that didn't yield any offense, so we'll see if the Beavers can do a little bit more here in the second half. 4 shots on goal, or 4 shots in that first half, 2 on goal for the Dolphins, 9 shots overall and 5 on goal, so they were outshot by CSI. The Dolphins, of course, put more shots on goal, and that was very characteristic of what we've seen the Dolphins do so far this season. The Beavers also stayed true to form, blanked in the first half. They'll look to avoid yet another shutout.
And Joe, in that first half, it was Vasil Fedorci picking up his first goal, Philip Lefkowitz picking up his second, and Adrian Kosovic picking up his first goal as well. So Dolphins continue to play well on the offensive side, really have limited opportunities defensively, and now through the last 4.5 games during this winning streak have outscored their opponents 17-3, including a shutout for their last game and a half.
And we mentioned all the contributors for the Dolphins so far this season. You mentioned that Vasil Fedorci and Adrian Kosovic picked up their first goals, but none of the Dolphins' 3 leading goal scorers scored a goal in that first half. Those being Joe Balella, Bryant Navarro, and Danny Nika. 3 different players getting on the score sheet for the Dolphins in half number 1. You have to like that if you're head coach John Tardy. Again, contributors across the board. That's always important to a team's success. the Dolphins have had that so far in 2017.
So the Dolphins started out, Joe, with 5 of their first 6 games right here at the CSI Soccer Complex, but now they're going to play 7 of their next 8 on the road.
And the Dolphins have had great success at home so far this season, but I don't think that can be attributed to simply playing on your home turf. This team has played extremely well. They've outshot the opposition, limited quality chances, and those are 2 things that I always mention during these broadcasts as being vital to a team's success. The Dolphins have done that, and they've also avoided key mistakes. We saw Ivan Barrera make a bit of a mistake earlier trying to meet Chabalanja at the top of the penalty area and retrieve that ball, but he was able to quickly recover, get back in goal, and make the save. So even when the Dolphins did make an error in that first half, they were able to recover, bounce back, and ultimately make the right play. And very interesting here, as the horn has sounded to start playing the second half, CCNY is still seated in the shade underneath the trees behind the Dolphins' goal. It looks like the officials are going to retrieve them now, so we'll have a bit of a delay to the start of the second half.
Yeah, you know, that is interesting, Joe. They really should have been on the field at least a minute or 2 ago, so the officials will have to go over and have a word with them and get them on the field. But give us an opportunity to mention, Joe, that the CSI women's soccer team will be in action 4:30 this afternoon on Randall's Island as they will play the same CCNY Beaver team, and the Lady Dolphins off to a 5-0 start here in 2017.
Both the men and women's soccer programs off to a great start in the 2017 season, and a lot of what I said about the men also applies to the women, limiting quality chances for the opposition, outshooting their opponents, keeping the pressure on at both ends of the pitch. It's been a great start to 2017 for the women, who have yet to lose a game. The men had a poor showing in Game 1, but have been rock solid since.
So CCNY making their way back out onto the field, Joe, and really looking to change the way that first half went.
Absolutely. Again, they were outshot, not by as wide of a margin as we've seen them outshot this season overall. I believe it was about 113-16 against CCNY in shot total so far this season. So they'll look to change that. And the Dolphins will look to keep doing what they're doing. They don't really need to change much. The only difference I saw later in that first half than earlier in that first half is that the Dolphins were a bit more aggressive in their shot taking, looking to shoot from much further out. And the Beavers really didn't change much either. They still looked to drop players back, didn't really string together passes very well in the attacking third of the field, and that's the reason that they found limited opportunities.
So we're about ready to get underway here in the second half. We can see Brenly Salas and Mike Arianis, both late first half substitutions, remaining out on the field for the Dolphins. And the Dolphins, 6 substitutes in that first half, Joe. So, you know, an opportunity here for head coach John Tardy to get a lot of different players in the lineup.
And it looks like we'll see some more reserves here in the second half. Many of those substitutions, if not all of them, as you just mentioned, will remain out on the pitch to start half number 2. And we'll take a look at who's out there. And if there are any new faces starting the second half, we'll let you know. And it appears as if we're finally set to get underway as the Beavers have taken the field, and we're just waiting for the opening kickoff of the second half.
Yeah, it's been a good 20 minutes or so, Joe, since that first half ended. But we're about ready to get underway here with the Dolphins leading by a score of 3-0 as they look to get off to a good start in conference play here in 2017. And Dolphins looking for that elusive CUNYAC championship, Joe. It's been dangling out there these last couple of years, but they haven't been able to go get one. So we're underway here to the start of the second half as Boella gets the ball into Fedorzi, and the Dolphins will have the first possession here in the second half. And a big opportunity here in the early going is that's going to be knocked just wide, as that was Mike Arianis coming all the way up on the play and had an opportunity to give the Dolphins a quick 4th goal here in the first minute of the second half. But the shot went wide, and it's going to be a free kick opportunity here coming up for CCNY as Marcus DePompeus will take the free kick. DePompeus scores that one high up into the center of the field where Lehman is there to knock it back defensively, and now Morales chipping the ball to Arianis. Arianis with a lot of speed down the near sideline. Arianis working against Navarez. Now Arianis double teamed, and a nice job by the Beavers to knock it away, but they can't clear it as it's Fedorzi. Now to Sosa. Sosa trying to get himself an opportunity to get the ball towards net. Now he chips it onto the far sideline, and we're going to have a whistle and an offsides called on the play. As that time it looked like Brenly Salas, Joe, got a little bit too far ahead of the play and was called for the offsides.
And we've seen quite a few offsides calls already. The Dolphins bench didn't like that one. As you may have heard, the animated reaction coming from the CSI sideline, but all smiles along the CSI bench right now as they hold a 3-0 lead.
So a free kick opportunity here as Yusuf Ali, who checked into the game in the first half and has remained out on the field for the Bearcats, takes the free kick, and now it's Ali along the far sideline getting it over to Mendoza. Mendoza over to Gay as the Beavers working the ball around on the backside of the field, and the whistle is going to be Dolphin ball on the play as the ball went over the end line, and it'll be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. Sosa with the ball in midfield, now working the ball back as that's Condi. He tried to push his way forward, but instead it'll be played by Lehman on the back line. Lehman gets past a couple of Beaver attackers, and now the Beavers able to steal the ball in midfield and look to attack with numbers, but they can't make that big first pass, and instead it'll be Fedorzi to come back and play the ball away for the Dolphins and get the ball up over to Quintero. Quintero rolling the ball back up over to Morales. Dolphins contend here, Joe, to move the ball around. They don't really have to press the issue here. And now look to get the attack in as it's Tassin. Tassin charging down, and he goes over the top of DePompeyus. The ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. Sosa looking to work the ball back into the center of the field. Now he'll chip the ball across, but instead stepping forward will be Corona to knock the ball away. Now Lehman in the back line will just play the ball out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in now for CCNY. 3.5 minutes into the second half, and the Dolphins leading here by a score of 3-0. Uri with the ball. Arianis looking to keep the ball up the near sideline. He's able to do so as Boella looking to press the issue, and Boella coming away with the ball, centering it across. He was looking to get it to Tassin. His pass is knocked away, and now it's going to be Salas getting the shot, and DePompeyus there to make the play.
That's the first shot on goal of the second half for the Dolphins. And I mentioned before, the Dolphins committing quite a few offsides in that first half. And the offsides tally now 6 for the Dolphins, none for CCNY. And that's just been a product of a lack of attacking play by CCNY so far in this game.
And CCNY looking to press the attack forward a little bit here in the second half, as that ball is going to be centered across the field that time. And that's going to be Corona. But there to make the play on the ball is Barrera for the Dolphins.
And it looked like that was an attempted cross that he just directed right into the center of the goal. An easy play there for Barrera to keep that one out of net.
As the Dolphins playing that ball up over the near sideline and out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in here for the Beavers. And coming forward will be Navarez to throw the ball in. Navarez throw-in is a 50-50 ball, basically, and Fedorzi is able to clear the ball away momentarily, but not out, as we're going to have a whistle, and that's going to be a foul on the Dolphins, and that foul will be against Alex Sosa. So Sosa will drop back on the play as Ali will take the free kick, and he'll roll it up over to Navarez on the near sideline. Navarez working the ball up over to Corona. And now Boella is going to be tackled on the play. And now we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on CCNY. So a couple of fouls traded on both sides will result in a free kick for the Dolphins, as they'll play the ball all the way across on the far side of the field. And it'll be Condi. Condi looking to throw the ball forward, but it's going to be knocked out of bounds. And it will be a throw-in opportunity once again for the Dolphins. Dolphins pass in the center of the field is going to be knocked away, and we're going to have a whistle and another foul called on the Dolphins. So a couple of fouls here, Joe, in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, 18 fouls in the first half, 10 by the Dolphins and 8 by the Beavers. I believe we mentioned it during the halftime report, and we appear well on our way to 18 more here in half number 2 as the referees had to blow the whistle several times already in the second half.
So now it's Navarez. Navarez looking to work the ball inside, but Sosa comes back to play it away for the Dolphins, and now he's going to throw it up to Tassin as the Dolphins look to counterattack quickly. Tassin looking to bull his way inside. He knocked one player off the ball, but a nice job by the Beavers to knock it out of bounds and force the Dolphins to throw the ball in. Throw-in comes up over to Tassin. Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, but this time it will be the Dolphins to throw the ball in once again on the near sideline. Long throw-in. It's going to be headed away by the Beaver defense. And now coming up to play the ball is Chabalanya. Chabalanya probably had the best opportunity of the day. Charges in on Lehman, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the Dolphin. Boy, I don't know about that one, Joe.
And the Dolphins bench can't believe it, and I'm not sure there should have been a foul called there. As Chabalanja was chasing the play, he didn't have possession of the ball, and he was behind all 3 Dolphins who were giving chase to the ball.
Yeah, there should have been a foul call, Joe, but it should have been on Chabalanja for pulling down the Dolphin defender from behind. Instead, it's going to be an opportunity for a free kick here for the Beavers, and let's see if they could do something better than they've done so far here this afternoon. As the official stops the clock now with 37 minutes, 21 seconds remaining here in this second half. It looks like Edom Akika will take the free kick for the Beavers. Let's see if they put this one towards goal. They finally do, and that one just goes over the top. Good shot that time by Akika, but just over the crossbar, Joe.
And going back to that foul for just a moment, I think the foul was called much sooner than the whistle was blown, and that's why the foul went against the Dolphins. At the point where the whistle was blown, there was really no Dolphin who could have been called for that foul. But before that, I believe Chabalanja did have the ball, and the official saw the contact that took place a bit further back. That's where the free kick was taken from. And not a bad attempt on the free kick by Adim Adika. Unfortunately, couldn't find the back of the net, and CCNY still trails by 3 just under 9 minutes into the second half.
So it'll be a throw-in here for the Beavers as Barrera that time kicks the ball out of bounds, and it'll be the Beavers coming away with possession once again as it's Yauri. And the Beavers doing a better job, Joe, pressing forward and getting themselves some opportunities, but they are leaving themselves a little bit vulnerable in the back for the Dolphins' counterattack. And here it comes as Fedorzi comes charging in on the ball, but a nice defensive play that time by DePompeyus to knock it out of bounds.
And they don't have much of a choice when it comes to their attacking pressure. They have to attack higher up the pitch, and there will be vulnerabilities in that back line should they choose to do that. The Dolphins will look to exploit that here, though the Beavers' defense was able to get set. It looks like Yusuf Ali cleared the ball over the touchline, but I think a goal kick was awarded, so perhaps Ali did not make contact with the ball. Goal kick for the Beavers.
Yeah, so a free kick coming up here for the Beavers. We've played 9 minutes and 20 seconds here in the second half. The Dolphins with 3 early goals in the first half, and those 3 goals really came over a 7-minute period, Joe, as they lead by a score of 3-0.
And there could have been more, and you almost mentioned a 7-0 score. The Beavers have been victims of a 7-0 defeat on a pair of occasions this season. They look to avoid that here today, and hopefully for them, put a goal up on the scoreboard. They've only scored 1 so far this season, and that was now 4 games ago. So if you're CCNY, again, I mentioned it before, you can't underestimate the importance of scoring a goal here this morning, and hopefully for them, they're able to do so. The Dolphins, of course, want to maintain that shutout streak.
Arianas putting the ball across, looking to get the ball to a wide-open Salas. Salas rolling it forward. That time Condi looked to overlap, but a nice defensive play that time by Castillo. But now Condi able to knock it away. He centers it in front, but there to knock the ball away defensively is Akika. Oh, and that shot towards goal, just over the top. And out of bounds, a nice play that time by DePompeyus to knock it out of bounds, but that will yield another corner kick. 34 minutes remaining. Is that shot headed in front and knocked away off the line that time beautifully? I believe that was Ousmane Gay that was able to knock the ball away. So a nice play that time led to an opportunity, but a good defensive play by Gay to knock the ball off the line. And now it'll end up being a free kick for the Dolphins just on the Beaver side of midfield. Lehman taking the free kick as Lehman puts the ball inside. It bounces over onto the near side, and we're going to have a whistle, and I believe we're going to have an offsides called on the Dolphins once again.
And you can see the difference in aggressiveness on the attack between these two teams, and the offsides calls are a testament to that. The Beavers really haven't been pressing that high up the pitch on the attack, and in stark contrast, the Dolphins have been very aggressive on the attack. That's resulted in some offsides calls, but it's also resulted in many quality chances for CSI.
So it'll be DePompeyus to play the ball forward. It's going to be knocked out of bounds defensively that time by Quintero, and it will be a throw-in opportunity for CCNY. As coming forward is Corona to throw the ball in. Corona, a nice feed that time, getting the ball over to Cabanilla, whose shot is parried away beautifully that time by Barrea. Another big opportunity that time for Cabanilla, but once again, a beautiful save by the Dolphins.
And goalkeeping like that is a big reason why the Dolphins now have pitched 3 straight shutout halves of soccer and look to continue that streak here today. It's also a big part of the reason why the Dolphins are where they are so far this season with a record of 4-1. Their goalkeeping has been tremendous.
Luis Castillo will take the first corner kick here for the Beavers. They're able to get the ball in front. It's knocked around and knocked away defensively by the Dolphins. Jimmy Mendoza at the midfield. He'll turn and chip that one towards goal, but Pereira will be there to make the easy play on the ball. So a couple opportunities that time for CCNY. The big opportunity, of course, by Cabanilla, but a beautiful save by Ivan Barrera.
And Chabalanya has been right in the middle of all of the Beavers' offense in this game. When they're on the attack, it's usually his name that we're calling, doing something down around goal, as they're looking for him up the near sideline once again.
Now he looks to get the ball on his foot. Coming over to play him is Quintero. He chips it in front, but it'll be knocked away defensively by Morales and the Dolphins. Morales chipping the ball up the center of the field, gets the ball to Tassin. Tassin now working against Ali. Youssef will come over and head the ball out of bounds, and the Dolphins will throw the ball in quickly. Boella looking to play it forward, but Navarez will knock it out of bounds to slow down that Dolphin counterattack, and the Dolphins will have to throw the ball in once again. 31 minutes remaining in the second half. 3-0, the Dolphins in the lead. As here come the Dolphins on the attack once again. Boella trying to force his way through. Instead, the Beavers able to play it away to Cabanilla. His pass is going to be stolen away by Condi. Condi rolling it forward, looking for Salas, but instead it's going to be played back defensively by Jimmy Mendoza. Fedorti knocking away the Beaver clearing attempt, and now here come the Dolphins looking to attack once again. Fedorti over to Tassin. Tassin looking for a little bit of space. Tassin looking to get the ball up over to Arianes. Instead, a nice defensive play that time to steal the ball away by George Navarez. Dolphins continue to press forward, but Navarez is there once again to play the ball for the Beavers, and a nice tackle by Sosa to knock it out of bounds. Beavers throw it in quickly. Gay fighting with Boella for the ball. Gay able to swing it out over now onto the far side of the field as the Beavers look to build up their attack once again with Castillo. Castillo has the ball knocked out of bounds, but it'll remain a Beaver throw-in. And now it's Alex Sosa with the ball as he tries to feed the ball up now to Salas down the far side. He chips it in front, and it's going to be headed away now by Ali back in towards midfield where the Beavers look to counterattack once again. Barrera comes out of his net to head the ball away. And now it's going to be Morales to Fedorti, back up over to Condi. Now Alex Sosa in midfield. Sosa looking to play it forward to Fedorti, but instead it's going to be Castillo to come away with the ball now for the Beavers. Castillo rolling the ball forward. And now the Dolphins come away with the ball as that's Condi. Dolphins looking to counterattack, and they do have some numbers. Salas looking to chip it in. He's looking for Tassin, but coming off his line is DePompeyus to make the play on the ball for CCNY. Good back and forth play here in the second half, Joe. The Beavers forced to open it up a little bit to try to get on the scoreboard, and usually makes for entertaining soccer.
And we saw the Beavers get a couple of good chances not too long ago. It was Chabalanja, the catalyst, down around the box. He was attempting to make a play, looked across the ball, couldn't find one of his teammates, but his aggressiveness and his dribbling skill down around the penalty area has really been the best of what the Beavers have thrown at the Dolphins so far.
So a couple of substitutions. Stephen Ojo will check into the game, as Logan Tassin will also check out of the game for the Dolphins, Joe, and the substitute Bryant Navarro will check into the game for CSI as well. As here's Fedorti looking to feed it to Navarro. Navarro able to shield off the defender and chip the ball towards Di Pompeius, but a nice playing goal to knock that one away and out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. So didn't take Navarro long to put the pressure on for the Dolphins.
And we mentioned Navarro shared the lead in goals for the Dolphins coming into this game. There's a lot of action down around the penalty area right now, and it was Youssef Ali who played a big role in that sequence there, perhaps stopping Navarro from scoring what would have been his team-leading fourth goal. Di Pompeius also came out of goal as well, and the three converged, but a clean tackle attempt by Ali, and perhaps Di Pompeius got a piece of it as well.
So it's going to be a free kick. It looks like Joe Boella is going to take it, Joe, for the Dolphins. I see three Beavers on the wall, and we have a good angle of it, and it looks like a lot of room near the far post, and a good job by the goalie to move them over a little bit, and still looks like room on both posts for Boella, and going to have a little bit of a change, and now it's going to be Salas to come over and take the free kick, and looks like there's room towards goal. They're going to bring in the left footer to try to wrap this one toward the far post. And that's what he does, and he feeds the ball right in front, and a nice play by Youssef Ali to knock it away. That was a good idea that time, Joe, and a nice defensive play by Ali for the Beavers.
And a nice adjustment there by the Dolphins, seeing the position of the goalkeeper and then going with the left-footed kicker. As you mentioned, it would have been on goal had Ali not gotten in there and blocked it with the head. So a nice job there by Youssef Ali for the Beavers, preventing a Dolphin scoring chance.
Now the Dolphins able to get the turnover on the Beaver side of the field, and it's going to be Boella. Boella chipping it in. He was looking for Arianes, but has passed a little bit too far ahead, and Di Pompeius will be there to make the play for the Beavers. 26 minutes, 5 seconds remaining here in the second half. The Dolphins in control of this one, leading by a score of 3-0, looking to extend their winning streak to 5 and win their opening game here in this 2017 CUNYAC season. Cabanlianda, a beautiful feed inside to Castillo. His shot is blocked away, but the Beavers continue to press forward. Ojo has the ball knocked out of bounds, but the Dolphins will give up their second corner kick here of the afternoon.
And nice dribbling once again by Chabalanja. He's really been the catalyst on the attack for the Beavers in this game. Made a Dolphins defender whiff on his attempt to steal the ball. And then Chabalanja had his pick of teammates to try and cross the ball to. Unfortunately for him, his cross did not connect, though it does lead to a corner kick for the Beavers.
So Luis Castillo will take the corner kick once again for the Beavers. It's a good one, but Barrera comes off his line smartly to make the play on the ball for the Dolphins. So an opportunity goes by the board for the Beavers, and the Dolphins look to counterattack quickly, Joe, and they do have numbers. But the pass forward for Navarro is going to be knocked away, and now the Beavers have those same numbers heading back on the offensive end. Castillo, his ball forward, he was looking for Ojo, but that pass way too far ahead and out of bounds. So it'll be a free kick opportunity here for the Dolphins.
And it's been a much better second half for the Beavers than it was a first half for the Beavers. A lot more pressure exerted by CCNY on the attack here in the second half. They've had more chances already here in half number 2 than they had in all of half number 1. Already a pair of shots on goal here in the second half, and many more threatening attack opportunities for them as well.
Now the long pass is going to be played forward, but offsides on the play that time is Brenly Salas, who for some reason, Joe, known only to Brenly, he chose to kick that ball toward the net well after the whistle blowed, and he's going to get shown a yellow card for his efforts. And not sure what happened there, Joe.
And just not a yellow card you want to take. Of course, no yellow card is a card you necessarily want to take, but right there's just no reason to pick up a yellow card. And Salas decided, for whatever reason, to kick that ball toward goal. I'm not in his head. I don't know why, but he does pick up the yellow, and it looks like that'll earn him a seat on the bench as well.
Yeah, so Salas will come off the field after picking up a yellow card, and so Salas will check out of the game. So it's going to be a free kick opportunity here coming up now for the Beavers, as we have 24 minutes, 8 seconds remaining here in the second half, and the Dolphins out in front 3-0 as the Beavers try to find a way to get themselves on the board here, Joe, and try to put a little pressure on the Dolphins.
And the Beavers emptying the bench, looking for some more attacking play and contributions from their bench and substitutes, as Chabalanja with an aggressive play there on the attack. He just shoved Joe Balella straight to the ground. There's words between the two, but it looks like it's Ojo coming over to separate them, or actually that's Ousmane Gay, excuse me. He's wearing 0, Ojo wearing 00.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. Another aggressive play by Chabalanja. He got the handball called on Boella before the foul, and now the Dolphins look to counterattack quickly as they throw the ball into Ali Fairs, and Fairs checks back into the game. And, you know, you bring a player like Ali Fairs off the bench, Joe, so much energy and fresh legs in the middle of the second half, and that should free him up to be very creative.
Definitely. We mentioned how active he has been in his time on the pitch during the pregame, and that was in the previous 2 games we were talking about. Ali was definitely a catalyst in the Dolphins' attack, a very good pass. And I believe it was the last game was credited with an assist on one of the goals. I'll have to check that. But Ali, nonetheless, a very active player, a high-energy player for the Dolphins.
Ali Fairs with the ball. Fairs turns and shoots that one towards goal, and D. Pompeius makes the save on a bounce for the Beavers. Long ball played forward by Lehman. It's going to be knocked away and come down to Fedorzi, and now it's Ali Fairs. Fairs over to Navarro. Navarro getting the ball up over to Sosa. Sosa rolling the ball across now. It's going to be Wilson Quintero. Quintero with a little bit of space. Quintero looking to overlap and get on the attack now. He feeds the ball up over to Fairs. Fairs got it to Navarro. He tried to turn and wind that one toward the far post. He's going to be knocked down on the play. The ball will go out of bounds, and it will be a free kick opportunity here for CCNY with 22 minutes remaining here in the second half, and the CSI Dolphins with a 3-0 lead.
And Navarro found himself in good scoring position there. Unfortunately, he was off balance and falling down to the turf as he attempted the shot. Therefore, it went wide.
We have an opportunity to take a look at Ali Fairs feeding the ball into Navarro, but he just couldn't get his foot around the ball to wrap the ball towards goal. And it'll be the Beavers now with possession as Ojo loses possession, and the Dolphins counterattack quickly as Boella, his pass is going to be knocked away by Lavelle, and it's going to be played back now defensively by Uri for the Beavers. Over to Corona. Corona feeding it forward, but Quintero there for the Dolphins. The breakout pass is going to be knocked out of bounds. And it's going to be an opportunity now for a throw-in as the clock continues to roll, as we're inside of 21 minutes remaining here in this second half. Ball played down by Yauri. Yauri looking to get it forward as it's Ojo as a Dolphin down on the play. And now it's going to be played forward, and we're going to have a whistle as I believe that was Miguel Morales, Joe, who's down for the Dolphins.
It is. We've seen quite a few players go down in this game. Fortunately, none of them have stayed down, and we'll see if that's the case here as well. But it's been a very physical game so far, and it's taking a toll on the players who find themselves being taken out by a lot of these tackling attempts. So
Morales back up on his feet. He does appear to be okay. The clock is stopped with 20 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in the game. The Dolphins leading this one by a score of 3-0 as they open their 2017 CUNYAC regular season here. The Dolphins coming off of a regular season CUNYAC championship, but lost in the semifinal rounds to Lehman College by a score of 1-0. And, you know, really since that day, Joe, it's been all about getting back into the CUNYAC championships and trying to win them.
And today's the first step in that direction, their first conference matchup of the season. It's been a good showing for the Dolphins so far. Still a 3-goal advantage as we wind down to 20 minutes remaining here in the second half.
So DePompeyas is going to clear the ball deep down the sideline, and Dolphins nearly lose possession in the midfield as Ojo was able to come forward and nearly able to steal that ball away and give the Beavers a rush down toward Dolphin goal, but instead Dolphins able to knock it away. Beavers pick up the foul, and it'll be a free kick now for the Dolphins.
And the Beavers have done good work defensively in their attacking half of the field. The Dolphins looking to get the ball back, moving in the other direction. We've seen the Beavers cut away those passing lanes, and that's turned into some opportunities. Mostly it's been Chabalanja who's been the catalyst, but other players have gotten involved as well as the second half has progressed.
Ali trying to play the ball on the far sideline now for the Dolphins. He's working against Castillo. Ali rolling it forward, looking for Navarro. Navarro trying to break in with a little bit of speed, putting a lot of pressure on the Beaver defense, but a nice job by the Beavers to let the ball go over the line, and it'll be a free kick opportunity for CCNY. But time getting late for the Beavers, Joe. Just 19-20 remaining, and a CCNY team that's really looking for a way to try to find a goal. Chabalanja with speed. Chabalanja shot, and the ball rolls across the goal mouth as Ojo was one big opportunity for the Beavers.
Harder if Barrera made the save, but he was in position to make a save on it. I'm sure we'll get another look at it in just a few moments, but that was a strong shot there off the foot of Chabalanja, and Barrera was forced to make a play quickly on it. Again, I'm not sure if that caught the post or Barrera's foot. It looks like a foot injury to Barrera. It could just be a sprained ankle that had nothing to do with the shot. I doubt the ball caused an injury like that, but either way, a great opportunity for the Beavers, turned aside by the Dolphins, or maybe even the post.
Yeah, and, you know, it looked like Ivan was able to get up off of that missed shot, but then after the play completed, he clearly has an injured ankle, so we'll see what's happening here, Joe, and we could see a change of goal for the Dolphins.
Well, the Dolphins do have options, and it appears there will indeed be a change in goal. At least a substitute is waiting here in front of the scorer's table to enter the game. We'll see if they go through with that substitution as Barrera attempts to walk it off.
Yeah, and you know that the last thing that the freshman wants to do is come off the pitch, Joe, here in a 3-0 game. He's got a shutout going. He had a shutout in his last game, but it looks like we'll have a substitution, Joe, in goal for the Dolphins.
And it will be number 30 for the Dolphins. That's Balint Barabbas entering the game, so Ivan Barrera's day is over.
And, you know, we've seen Barreras playing goal for the Dolphins, Joe, this year, and he's also played extremely well under some very challenging conditions. But Ivan Barrera comes to the sideline. Another great job at goal for Barrera here this afternoon, Joe.
And he continues to do a great job for the Dolphins in goal so far this season. Another strong showing for him here today as the Dolphins look to extend their shutout streak to a full 2 games. They're almost 19 minutes away from doing so.
Yeah, and Miguel Morales will check out of the game for the Dolphins as well. So a couple of the banged-up Dolphins here in the last couple of minutes, Joe, come over to the sideline.
And I just got to look at the replay of the goal here in front of me on our live stream on YouTube, and that shot did indeed hit the post. And with the ball ricocheting so forcefully across the goal mouth, I think that was a safe assumption from the beginning. So I believe a shot on goal will not be credited. As a result, that one hitting hard off the left post.
So Joel Morales, who's checked into the game as well, as he's tackled very hard on the play, and the official says play on. Luis Castillo with the ball. Castillo knocked away defensively that time by Nicoletto, who's also checked into the game for the Dolphins. As the ball's going to be played down the far sideline looking for Ali, but instead it'll be Youssef Ali to step forward and knock it away from Ali Faz. Ball played down the far sideline looking for Chabalanja, but the ball's going to be knocked away and played by Ryan Lehman for the Dolphins up over to Fedorzi. Fedorzi crossing the ball across onto the near side of the field to Condi, but Condi loses possession now to Stephen Ojo as Ojo takes possession on the near sideline. Ojo able to step inside Condi. Ojo trying to put some pressure on that Dolphin defense, but instead it's going to be knocked away by Mike Arianes, but it's going to be a free kick opportunity and a big opportunity here, Joe, for the Bearcats to get the ball on net.
And we've mentioned the Beavers haven't been looking to put these free kicks on goal often. It's been Yusuf Ali taking them. As you see the referee painting the lines on the pitch for the players to get in the correct position. I don't believe we've seen that so far this season, so interesting to see that for the first time, as it is Yusuf Ali taking the free kick.
As we see a highlight of the tackle that resulted in the free kick, and now Ali's shot towards goal will be deflected out of bounds. So it will be a corner kick here for CCNY as the clock continues to roll with 16 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the second half. The Beavers will take their corner kick now from the near sideline, and it's going to be number 32, Ron Corona, to take that free kick. A nice opportunity into the center of the net, but the ball's going to be headed wide, and now Corona comes charging back off of the corner kick and put the ball in the center of the net, but the ball goes wide, Joe, out of bounds, and it's going to be a free kick opportunity now for the Dolphins.
And despite not coming up with a goal or even a shot off of that corner kick, still more opportunities for the Beavers in the second half than in the first half. It's been a much stronger showing for CCNY, and on top of that, they've also kept the Dolphins off of the scoreboard. They've gained 3 corner kicks as opposed to none in the first half, and unfortunately for them, it just hasn't translated into anything on the scoreboard yet, though they have done a better job against the Dolphins' attack.
So Mustafa Kamara will check into the game. He will replace Luis Castillo. Castillo very active in the second half for the Beavers. He'll now come to the sideline. As the Beavers come away with possession of the ball, they try to play it forward, but it's going to be knocked away now by Quintero, and now it's going to be played to Navarro. Navarro gets it ahead to Sosa. Sosa had his shirt pulled from behind, and that could be a yellow card. It's certainly going to be a foul, and it's certainly going to give the opportunity for the Dolphins to put a shot on goal. It will be a yellow, and that's going to be charged to number 5, Damon Mendoza.
And it looked like it was Yusuf Ali who grabbed the jersey, so we'll see what the official announcement is. But it looked like Ali was the one who tugged at the jersey. We'll get an official call on it in just a moment, but I think I just heard number 5 announced down the table, so it appears as if at least the scorer's table believes it was called against number 5.
I believe it was, Joe. So it'll be Mendoza to take the Morales to take the free kick for the Dolphins as Joel whips it towards goal, just wide past the near post and out of bounds. So the Dolphins' opportunity at a free kick goes wide, and it'll be a free kick now for CCNY. The clock continues to roll, Joe. We're now inside of 15 minutes remaining here in the game. Dolphins started this season out 5 of 6 games at home. They'll be on the road for 7 of the next 8 after this game here this afternoon. Kamalanja now getting it up over to Gay. Gay passing the ball across, looking for Ojo, but Ojo is going to get called for the offsides. I believe that's the first offsides of the afternoon, Joe, for the Beavers.
And I think you're right. We mentioned the disparity in offsides calls between these two teams being a product of the Dolphins' aggressiveness on the attack. And the Beavers really hadn't gotten much going in the attacking third of the field. And the Dolphins now will look to attack the other way here.
DePompeyus way out of the net. The Dolphins put the ball towards goal, but it's going to be over the top. I believe that was Bryant Navarro, Joe, who got that shot towards goal but couldn't get it on net as DePompeyus came out aggressively, but the Dolphins can't put the ball in the back of the net.
And we mentioned how far out of goal DePompeyus has been playing. We saw Adrian Kosovic look to take advantage of that back in the first half. And right there, the Dolphins looking to take advantage once again. But unfortunately for them, neither of their 2 attempts at DePompeyus vacating his position have been on goal. So the lead is still 3-0 for the Dolphins, though they have had some opportunities here in the second half to add to it.
So DePompeyus will take the free kick here. As the clock continues to wind down and the Beavers continue to struggle to find the back of the net, looking for their first goal since game number 1, the Dolphins still have their shutout going, and they lead by a score of 3-0. Condi gets the ball up over to Christopher Lee, who just checked into the game for the first time for the Dolphins here this afternoon. Navarro loses possession, but now it's Lee. Lee getting the ball back up on to the near side of the field. The Dolphins with a little bit of space, as that was Omar Abdallah looking to get the ball across the center of the field, but the Bearcats able to knock the ball away. So an opportunity, Joe, for a couple of new players to come in. Nicoletto also in on the back line for the Dolphins.
And it's good to see some Dolphins who don't usually get a lot of time on the pitch get out there in a game where it feels like CCNY is still really pressing to score their first goal, only their second of the season, their first of this game, of course, and they may have another opportunity right here.
Yes, it's Gay down the far sideline. Gay with an open player in front as that's going to be over to Camara, who's header on goal, and Barberis with his first touch, Joe, is there to make the good save.
And that was destined for the top shelf, upper left corner of the net, but Balint Barabbas makes a nice save. He was in good position, not a lot behind that header, but it was very well placed, and Barabbas able to get there and snag it out of the air.
So Kunada, who came into the game for the Bearcats, will take the throw in, but first we're going to have another substitution. John Yahori is going to check into the game, and he will replace Usmane Gay. As we're going to have the clock stopped here, as it looks like Barberis is trying to get the goal back set up properly. Beavers. Oops, thank you. Confusing Baruch and CCNY there, Joe.
Yeah, we have our animals confused. It's been a long day. It's very hot outside. These things happen sometimes. You have to bear with us here.
So it's going to be a free kick opportunity for the Beavers. As it's LaValle putting the ball in front. A lot of players there, but the hand by Barberis knocks the ball away. As the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, but it'll be the Beavers to throw the ball in once again. Ball played into the center of the field as that's Yuri trying to chip the ball across, but Barberis will be there to make the play for the Dolphins. 10:45 remaining here in the second half. Dolphins looking to get off their 2017 CUNYAC season with a win as the ball rolled forward to Navarro, but he'll get called for the offside. So, Joe, this Monday the Dolphins will travel to Pennsylvania. They'll play Valley Forge, and then they'll play a couple of conference games on the road as they'll play York College and Medgar Evers. That's the Dolphin action for the next 7 days.
And it appears as if they'll be carrying some very positive momentum into those games. They appear destined to extend their shutout streak to 2 games. The Beavers have had some opportunities here in the second half. The Dolphins have done a good job of limiting them and keeping the pressure on defensively as well. So a foul is called there. Again, the Dolphins should enter those games with some positive momentum, playing extremely well. And outside of that first game this season, there really isn't much bad to say about what the Dolphins have done in 2017.
So a free kick opportunity here coming up for CCNY as they play the ball in towards the center of the field. It's going to be headed out of bounds, and Barberis won't be able to make a play on it. So it's going to be another corner kick here as the Beavers now go out in front in corner kicks, Joe, 4-3.
And again, the Beavers have done a much better job in the second half, and it looks like it's a goal kick for the Dolphins. So the Beavers and Dolphins will remain even in corners. But still, despite that, the Beavers have done a better job here in the second half. Still not comparable to the pressure the Dolphins put on them in the first half, but it has been a better showing for CCNY in half number 2. And again, they've kept the Dolphins off the scoreboard. And if they had done that in the first half as well, we might have a much more competitive game right now rather than a 3-goal advantage for the Dolphins. Of course, that's easier said than done against the CSI team.
So in addition to the men's soccer game, we have women's tennis here at CSI this afternoon as well, and the women will be in action. They will head to Randall's Island, a 4:30 p.m. start this afternoon as the CSI women, Joe, look to continue their unbeaten streak. And they've already won their first game in the conference, and they'll have an opportunity this afternoon against the same CCNY team on Randall's Island.
And should the men close this out, as it appears they will, I believe that brings the combined total as an opportunity there for the Beavers. Sails over the net by a wide margin. But as I was saying, should the men close this game out, I believe that brings the win total, or the win streak total for the 2 programs combined, men and women, to 10. The women could extend it to 11 tonight. So a lot of positivity around the CSI soccer programs right now, and for good reason, as these 2 teams, the men and the women, have played extremely well so far in 2017.
So it'll be a free kick opportunity here for the Dolphins as the clock continues to roll and we approach 8 minutes remaining here in the second half, as we're going to have a whistle, and that will be a foul called on the Dolphins. So Abdallah will pick up the foul. as the Beavers look to play the ball in quickly and play the ball up the near sideline. Beavers able to center the ball in front, but once again, Lehman is there to clear the ball away for the Dolphins. And, you know, Joe, a big change in the responsibilities for Ryan Lehman this year. He's, you know, really played midfield most of last year, but now really the anchor, the stopper in the back of this Dolphin defense.
And he's done a great job for them so far here in 2017. The Dolphins haven't allowed many goals so far this year. Only a goal per game thus far, allowing 5 goals in their first 5 games. It looks like that will become 5 goals in 6 games should this shutout remain intact. And Ryan Lehman's defensive play and ability to get the ball moving up in the right direction toward the attacking players has been a big part of it. He's limited the mistakes and turnovers, and despite a change in role from midfielder to back, he really hasn't shown any signs that he's not ready for this change.
And, you know, Joe, the Dolphins have allowed more than 1 goal in just 1 game. That was the opening game loss against Wisconsin-Plattsville. Then they went 3 games in a row, only allowing a single goal. And for the last 2 so far, they haven't allowed any goals at all. So the defense has been getting better and better. And just like that, they're able to drill the ball into the net and pick up their 4th goal here in the afternoon, Joe. Things looked quiet, but the Dolphins able to take advantage and get another goal here, and they lead by a score of 4-0.
And the Dolphins finally break through here in the second half after a first half which saw them score 3 goals. I'm taking another look at it on the monitor to see who it was that put that one home. I think it was number 13, and I'm taking a look at it right now, and it was number 12. It was number 12, Bryant Navarro. So the goal goes to 12, Bryant Navarro. The assist to number 13, that was Christopher Lopez. So Navarro scores his team-leading 4th goal of the 2017 season. The assist, again, goes to Christopher Lopez. We'll have another look at it in just a moment.
Yeah, so the Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0. We'll see if we can get you another look at that goal here as the Dolphins continue to take advantage. And Navarro, who checked into the game as a substitute, able to come in and get that big goal for the Dolphins as they have blown this one open and now lead by a score of 4-0 as we have just over 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the second half as we have another opportunity to take a look at a replay here as that's not the replay we were looking for.
Well, it flashed quickly across your screen. If you blinked, you missed it. But either way, it was a nice play there by Christopher Lopez, maintaining his position inside of the touchline, not dribbling that ball out of bounds, and then finding Bryant Navarro sticking down the middle of the field into open space. He puts it home easily and now has his team-leading 4th goal, primarily as a substitute so far this season. So in limited action, Navarro has been able to find the back of the net quite often for the Dolphins.
So Lopez tries to pass that ball forward. It's going to be past everybody, and we're going to have, I believe, another offsides called on the Dolphins as the clock continues to roll. We have 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining, and at this point, Joe, only thing left to determine is whether or not the Dolphins will be able to pitch that shutout.
And it certainly looks as if they will, as they've really done a good job of shutting down the best of CCNY's opportunities. Balint Barabbas coming in off the bench, replacing the injured Ivan Barrera, made a nice save on a header attempt by the Beavers. I believe the header attempt was by the Beavers' number 10, Mustafa Kamara, and that's been the best opportunity for CCNY in the second half. The Dolphins turned that aside, and outside of Chabalanja dribbling around in the penalty area and attempting to make plays, the Beavers really haven't had much going in this second half. It's been truly threatening, though they have spent much more time on the attack than they did in half number 1.
So here come the Dolphins once again as it's Lehman with the ball as we're inside 3:50 remaining here in the second half. Dolphins coming down with a little bit of speed. That's Nika, I believe. And that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. As we have a Beaver down on the play. So we're going to have a couple of substitutions here for the Dolphins. Edward Aguiles is going to check in. He'll replace Ryan Lehman. And Joel Morales will check out as Xavier Castro will check in. So, you know, once again, Joe, an opportunity for head coach John Tardy to take a look at a couple more of his players as the clock continues to roll. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. And with the Dolphins leading by a score of 4-0, we'll just let the clock wind down here, Joe.
And the Dolphins, again, a strong showing today. Not much left to say that hasn't already been said. So we'll just wait for play to resume. And, again, it's been a great effort for the Dolphins. They've gotten it done at both ends of the pitch, of course, putting 4 goals up on the scoreboard and pitching a shutout once again. So on the attack and defensively, a stellar all-around effort. Many contributors, as has been the case for the Dolphins throughout this 2017 season, and it's been fun to watch.
So, Joe, the Dolphins open up the conference season with a home game, but their next 5 conference games, all on the road: York, Medgar Evers, Baruch, Brooklyn, and Hunter, before the Dolphins finally return home for a conference home game October 14th against Lehman. So just 3 conference home games this year. Today, October 14th against Lehman, and the 18th against John Jay, as the Dolphins look to defend their regular season championship and try to break through with a CUNYAC championship.
And they've taken the first step toward doing so, as I mentioned earlier, with a victory over CCNY. The Dolphins perhaps exercised the demon from last year. That was a defeat at the hands of the Beavers, and hopefully they continue to play well in the conference. You mentioned coming up games against York and Medgar Evers, neither of those games to be played here at the CSI Soccer Complex. Also games against Baruch and Brooklyn College this month. So a lot of conference play upcoming for the Dolphins. Unfortunately, we won't see them play in a conference game again until October 14th, as you mentioned.
So that ball's going to roll back, and Barraris will be there to play it for the Dolphins. Under 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, and Dolphins with 3 in the first and a big goal in the second half, Joe, and they lead by a score 4-0.
And a well-earned 4-goal advantage for the Dolphins, as on the attack, they've been solid defensively, done everything they needed to do. The one miscue in the first half by Ivan Barrera, he made up for immediately with a nice play to recover, as the referee has stopped the clock and issued a yellow card. So another yellow card issued by the official here in the second half. I believe it was against Chris Lee, but we'll get that confirmed. And it was Chris Lee issued the yellow card. So, again, a late-game yellow card that really there's no reason to pick up with a 4-goal advantage. But, you know, it is what it is. And unfortunately for the Dolphins now, they have 2 players who have picked up late-game yellow cards that have been really inconsequential.
And now we're going to have a whistle and a foul deep inside of the Dolphin defensive territory. And really, Joe, a big opportunity here for the Bearcats to get on the board.
And taking the free kick for CCNY, it will be Stephen Ojo.
So Ojo to take the free kick here for the Beavers, a Beaver team that has scored just 1 goal and has been shut out in their last 3. Looking for a late goal here with 1:38 remaining, but the shot is blocked into the wall. And the Dolphins trying to press forward, but the Beavers able to maintain possession, as that's Ojo. Ojo turns and puts the ball towards goal. That's going to be knocked away to Cabrera. Cabrera, and the shot driven on goal that time, that was John Yahori, who puts it hard on goal, and a beautiful save by Barbaros. And it's going to be a corner kick opportunity here, Joe, with just over a minute remaining here in the second half.
And Balint Barabbas has faced as much action in between the pipes as his predecessor did before getting injured. Ivan Barrera, throughout the entirety of his time spent out on the pitch. So for Barabbas, a good showing here in relief of Barrera in the second half, as that one's headed toward goal, and I think a Dolphin kept it out.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Joe, and that was number 14, Jonathan Villamar, who checked into the game, who knocked that ball off of the line for the Dolphins.
So a good defensive play there by Villamar, as that one was going to find its way inside the far post off the head of a Bearcats post. Now I'm doing it, off the head of a Beavers player here in the second half.
Sorry about that, Joe.
We're all having a good laugh about it right now. We apologize, of course. But, again, we've been here since 8 a.m. this morning. It's been a long day so far. And a strong showing for the Dolphins as this one comes to a close. 15 seconds remaining in the second half.
One final opportunity here for the Bearcats. It's Laval. Laval rolling it across with 10 seconds remaining. Camara trying to drive the ball towards goal. Quintero fighting it off to the sideline. The ball's going to roll out of bounds, and that's going to do it, Joe. For the second consecutive game, the Dolphins get a shutout. For the 5th time in a row, they win as they open their 2017 CUNYAC season with a 4-0 win against the CCNY Beavers.
And the Dolphins, again, expanding that goal differential over the opposition during that winning streak. You mentioned it. Coming into the game, they had outscored the opposition 14-3. Make that 18-3 now. 5 straight victories for the Dolphins. As you mentioned, they head up to Pennsylvania, taking on Valley Forge in their next game, and they continue their dominance here at home. Only a single defeat here at home so far this season in their first game against Wisconsin-Platteville. Contributions from everywhere in this one as well. We saw the reserves come in and pick up a goal. Balint Barabbas with a pair of nice saves in relief of Ivan Barrera, who left the game injured. And if you're the Beavers, you have to look at what you did in the second half and be a bit more pleased with that than what you did in the first half. It was a much stronger showing for CCNY in half number 2. Many more opportunities. They wound up with 6 shots on goal after picking up only 2 in the first half, but unfortunately failed to put a goal up on the scoreboard. Dolphins win by shutout 4-0.
Yeah, 4 different goal scorers for the Dolphins, Joe. And you look at this Dolphin team, there's a lot of offensive options and a lot of defensive options for this team. Head coach John Tardy with a lot of choices. And, you know, Ivan Barrera goes in and, you know, is in the middle of pitching his second consecutive shutout, and he gets banged up a little bit, and Balint Barreras comes right back in, Joe, continues to shut out. The Dolphins getting it all 3 areas: offense, defense, and goaltending.
And Ivan Barrera just walked past us, had an ice wrap around his knee, so when it appeared initially that it was an ankle injury, it looks like the injury was actually to his knee, so hopefully he'll be able to resume his duties as the Dolphins' lead goalkeeper moving forward. But we mentioned the contributions from many different players. One of the Dolphins' 2 leading goal scorers in the second half, Bryant Navarro, picked up now his team-leading 4th goal. But in the first half, a pair of players scored their first goal. You had to believe Adrian Kosovic was going to get on the board sooner instead of later. He scores his first goal. Vasil Fedorci also scored his first goal. And Philip Lefkowitz, returning from injury this season, continues to be a big contributor. He scored his second goal. Also has been a big shot taker for the Dolphins. I believe he's among the team leaders in shots. So, again, the Dolphins getting contributions from really their entire roster. The players who came in the second half were able to manufacture the Dolphins' 4th goal. Great showing all around from CSI today.
Yeah, so it'll be the final Dolphins men's home soccer game until October 25th, when Rutgers Newark will come in to play a non-conference game. But more soccer action for the Dolphins here this afternoon, Joe. They will head up to Randall's Island, and they will play a CCNY Beavers team that will be playing their first 2017 conference game of the year. But they come in with a record of 2-1 and some pretty good feelings for the Beavers.
And the women hope to see their conference season play begin much like the men's conference season began today. The men with a big victory. The women's team for CCNY, as you mentioned, has been a bit more successful, a winning record, unlike the men's team that came in struggling. So the women will have a test this afternoon at Randall's Island, but given what we've seen from them here at home so far this year in the games we've covered, there's no reason to believe they can't go out there and open up their conference season with a win.
So 4 unassisted goals for the Dolphins, 3 in the first half. Fedorci, Lefkowitz, and Kosovic with the Dolphin goals. Bryant Navarro picking up the unassisted goal in the second half, Joe. You put it together with shutout goaltending, and the Dolphins win once again by a final score of 4-0.
And I'm looking at the official scoring here. In the description, it does say the 4th goal was assisted. It was Christopher Lopez, as I mentioned at the time, so I wanted to give credit to Lopez, who came in as a substitute and assisted Bryant Navarro's goal. Good dribbling along the touchline, a nice pass by Lopez, so he picks up his first assist. Navarro, his 4th goal of the season, and again, what was a great all-around effort for the Dolphins to open up conference play this year.
So a good all-around effort for the CSI Dolphins. They pitched their 2nd consecutive shutout in a row. They win their 5th game in a row to increase their record to 5-1 on the year as they defeat the CCNY Beavers by a final score of 4-0. So for Joe Foreman, this is Mike Babuski along with Tom Kriskowski, who was handling all the engineering duties here this morning, saying thanks for watching. Don't forget the women's soccer team will be in action this afternoon against CCNY out at Randall's Island, 4:30 start. If you have an opportunity, it's a beautiful afternoon and a good chance to wrap things up. Our next broadcast will be this Wednesday afternoon. Kane University will roll into town. The opening touch at 3:30, pregame show at 3:15. So once again, thanks for watching, and join us next Wednesday afternoon as the women's Dolphin team will play Kane University. Have a great afternoon, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday afternoon, and don't forget you've been watching Men's CUNYAC Conference Soccer coverage right here on your voice of everything for CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.